Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Lots of energy over here. You can tell the award recipients, many of them are sitting over there. It is my pleasure to welcome you this evening to one of the more fun events. It is always a wonderful time when we can come together to recognize our students. Many of you know that we publish a lot of the accomplishments of our students, the academic accomplishments, and of course you read about and you hear about all of the things that our students do on the athletic field. But it is not often that you have this opportunity to hear about some of the other kinds of activities that our students are involved in. Those things that enrich their lives as students, those things that enable us to provide them with opportunities to develop other kinds of skills, opportunities for them to demonstrate their creativity and their sense of innovation, opportunities for them to show that they do have a community spirit and they want to give back to their communities. And so this is an evening when we can look at the other side of your children and say to everyone, you who are present as well as those who are joining us and who will be watching this later on GCTV, to say to everyone that we have right here in East Granby the best school system. And we have the best opportunities for students, and we have the best students and families. I say that without reservation. Thank you so much. Needless to say, we also have to extend a debt of gratitude to our professional staff and to our paraeducators and to our secretaries and to our custodians and everyone who really works together to help this to be the kind of place that it is. It is a nurturing place, it is a warm place, it is a place where we love children, it is a place where we understand and we appreciate how important this work is. And we appreciate the fact that your students are here and they really only get to do this once. You don't get a do-over of your elementary years or a do-over of middle school or a do-over of high school. They get to do it once, and we have to make sure that it is in fact a good investment of their time. And so this is, again, as I said, one opportunity that we have and one opportunity we do take to just recognize them for their investment in themselves as well as in their community. So thank you so much for being here. We do have a number of students to recognize this evening. We have about 80 students to recognize. And in addition to the students being recognized this evening, you know, I think this may be the start of the first of the many award ceremonies. So many of you, I'm sure, will be back here for other award ceremonies for your students, and that is it's just a wonderful thing, an absolutely wonderful thing. So again, I encourage our students to keep doing what they're doing, and thank you parents for being who you are. I appreciate that. I'd like to take a moment to introduce to you a few people. I'd like to introduce to you our Board of Education Chair, Mr. Joe Doring. Joe, if you would stand up and say hello. He will be assisting in handing over the certificates and awards this evening. I also want to recognize a few other board members who are here. I see Mr. Rob Crocker sitting in the back. Would you like to wave? Way back. I saw Ms. Broussard. Mrs. Broussard, where are you? Can you wave? There you go. Awesome. And former board members, I know Mr. Sanford is here. Trevor, where are you? And let's see, sometimes the glasses don't work well. I hope I'm not missing anyone. But I do have to say thank you to our board members. You know, it is all voluntary for them. They don't get paid for the time that they have put in and the commitment that they make to the town and to your children. So we certainly want to thank them and acknowledge them for their hard work. I also want to recognize our administrators who are here this evening, sitting up there in the back, trying to hide, I don't know. Mr. Bob McGrath, he's the assistant principal for the district. Mrs. Karen Gogel. Mrs. Gogel is responsible for our Student Services Department. Sitting next to her is Mr. Christopher Roche. She is the principal of R.D. Seymour School. And in front here is Mrs. Eulinger. She is principal at Harvey Allgrove School. Missy Bavaro is the principal at East Granby Middle School. And seated here in front also is Mr. Dave Pulling, he's principal of East Granby High School. And you know, behind every big program like this, there are some worker bees. And there are a couple of special worker bees, and I say that lovingly, to my administrative assistant, Lisa Klein. Without her, I'm not sure I would be as organized as I am this evening, especially since we have 3 things going on tonight. But we want to thank you, Lisa, for pulling this all together for us. Thank you. And then I also have to thank Ms. Laura McCabe, who is our teacher here in the middle school, high school for our nutrition and foods program. She prepared the refreshments for us, and so we want to thank her and her students, I'm sure, who assisted in preparing the delicious goodies. So we express our gratitude to her as well. Okay, all right, without further ado, I'd like to call on our first presenter, who is Mrs. Eulinger. She will be presenting awards to students from Carl D. Allgrove School. And I do want to say that, you know, there are many other awards that our students will be receiving. We obviously couldn't do them all tonight, but our principals will be taking care of that in their own award ceremonies for their individual schools. So, Mrs. Eulinger, I will turn it over to you to introduce our youngest stars.
Yes, it's my honor, really, this evening to invite Ramaya Matthews, Anna Griffin, and Allison Boateng to come down to the front. They're very nervous. Ramaya, I know, is on her way, so when she does arrive, we'll take a moment and recognize her as well. But I'm so proud of these 2 of the 3 young ladies that are standing here in front of us this evening. They're being recognized for a significant accomplishment. These 2nd graders demonstrated creativity, perseverance, and commitment to completing a long-term project over 3 to 4 weeks that involved thinking, working, building at home, and problem solving. It was their choice to participate in Invention Convention. They took it to heart and they applied what they learned in their 6th session after-school program to solving a problem that was important to them. After originating an idea, they designed and built a prototype of the solution. And you would think that would be the end of the process, but no, it is not. They then had to present their inventions and their problem-solving process to 2 panels of judges, which included answering questions on the fly that were posed to them. As 7-year-olds, they displayed wonderful thinking, listening, and speaking skills. I am so proud to share that all 3 girls did a fabulous job at the Allgrove Seymour Invention Convention. Congratulations to my inventors, my creative thinkers and doers, and the world awaits your next great innovative idea.
Congratulations, Alice.
And this is Anna.
Congratulations, Anna.
Okay. When Ramaya gets here, we will give her her turn in the spotlight. I would like to invite Mr. Roche to come forward. He has a number of students to recognize from RDC North School.
Thank you, Dr. Mahoney. If I could first recognize the parents who coached our Odyssey of the Mind teams, that would be Mrs. Tracy, Mrs. Kovalevsky, Mrs. Monaghan, Mrs. Bohm, and Mrs. Reckenberg. I don't know if they're all here, but they all coached. They gave up their time, and we appreciate it. I think Odyssey of the Mind is a really special activity, a special problem-solving, real creative, you see students who have such ingenuity, who are able to solve long-term problems, spontaneous problems, or practice long hours, and then come to a competition. And I know because I judged it, wasn't allowed to judge our kids because they felt I'd be somewhat partial, but it was a wonderful opportunity, and they just put hours and hours and hours invested into this amazing opportunity. I'm going to call them up. First, Megan Benner. Next, we have Ryan Hall. Samantha Kovalevsky. Sophie Landolina. Accepting the award on her behalf. Thanks very much. Next, we have Derek Ribsick. Congratulations. Good job. Lucas Shelton. Madeline Tracy. Owen Bohm. James Crocker. Trey Islankala. Lindsay Monaghan. Her sister, Lauren Monaghan. Ashani Nagamala. Kata C. Williams. Cecilia Carcosa Lefebvre. Congratulations. Cameron Lloyd.
Hold on for a second here.
Haley Linz. Yakub McKinney. And his sister, Adela McKinney. Colin Reckenberg. Abigail Benjiniak. Okay, those are all of our Odyssey of Mind student contestants this year. What a wonderful job they did. Thank you very much, students and parents. Next up, we have our Connecticut Invention Convention participants. Just want to congratulate all the students, also the Allgrove students. They participated over at Seymour. Jim Hayden and also Sue Greco were judges that day. We appreciate their time. It's a real cool activity. Students were really developing those critical thinking skills, problem solving, and work on those scientific method and engineering processes that they were practicing in the classrooms. First up, Oliver Ferrero. Congratulations. To be famous one day. Next up, John Canole. Awesome. Next up, Jordan Colley. Next is Evangeline Smith. Nick Braga. And finally, Lakin Cormier. Before I leave the podium, I just want to say that despite the fact that we had a power outage, no air conditioning, no lights, the students persevered, worked tremendously hard. And I want to thank Mrs. Shannon Korlowitz, if she could stand up, please. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I would like to invite Mr. Barbara Granby from East Granby Middle School.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. If it seems like I'm going to be a little bit all over the program, that's because I am going to be all over the program. I'd like to start by saying at East Granby Middle School, we really try and find opportunities to recognize a number of students in a variety of ways. Aside from our monthly Student of the Month program, we also, our 7th grade team has adopted the Remy Awards. This has been going on for quite some time at the middle school. Remy is what is giving out weekly awards for, well, what's R? E? M? And I. Responsibility, empathy, manners, and initiative. So we really like to find ways to recognize students in a variety of ways. So when we looked at this program tonight, and we do have an academic awards program that we will have on the last day of school, and we'll be recognizing, many students on that, actually be a day, during that day as well, including our Odyssey of the Mind group. So we didn't forget that group. We are just going to be recognizing them later on. So I'm going to start by the last page of the middle school where you see the Invention Convention. And I just want to read a little bit. Mr. Langen, our 7th grade science teacher, heads up the Invention Convention. He gave me a couple sentences I would like to read to you. Now I do apologize because 11 hours ago when I came in at 7, I was able to read this. So my eyes are a little bit blurrier now, but I'm still going to find my way through this. It's really important that everyone recognizes and understands what goes into the Invention Convention. And I know we heard, from our youngest inventors, and it's quite amazing to see what students are able to create as they get older and through the middle school. So Mr. Langen wrote, "We walked into a tremendous display of creativity and imagination at the Connecticut Invention Convention at Gampo Pavilion, Yukon Stores on April 30th. There were 1,000 inventors at the state championship for inventors. 30% of those became recognized inventors. East Granby had 5 recognized inventors. Only 2 inventors received the Young Entrepreneur Award for inventions that are creative, innovative, revolutionary, and have the potential to grow into resourceful and promising business opportunity. One of those went to our own Maya Brody for her invention, the cleaner picker-upper." Maya, would you like to use them up? There are only 15 prestigious CASE sponsor awards for those inventions deemed most likely to achieve a successful patent. One recipient was our 8th grader, Jay King, for her invention, the No Spiller Thriller. Jay, did you already have your banquet? It's tomorrow. Okay, Jay will be out at a banquet tomorrow. I just realized when I went out of order, I think I threw them out of order, so I apologize.
You never know.
Okay. We have to give a heads up on that. Also to be recognized for the Invention Convention, Samantha Bersari. For the Soul Band. Victoria Cannon. Super suction support. Stephanie Crocker. For the Eco Ears.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Emma Griffin. Emma had the invention, the Flawless Flosser. And Heather McKinnon. For the Easy Treasy. Now I'd like to move on to music awards. When I first requested from the faculty members, for anyone who's kind of gone above and beyond and really contributed to our overall school culture and spirit, if any of you know Mrs. Shalou, I mean, within 3 seconds, she had a list to me, ready for her students to be recognized. Ms. Shalou and Ms. Gilbert are so proud of the students, both in band and in chorus. So at this time, I would like to recognize Jaya Bidet. For being accepted into Northern Regional Middle School Choir and performing 2 solos. and Maya Brody. Audition for the Connecticut Music Educators Association Region Middle School Festival. Congratulations again, Maya. Madeline Burkett. Exceptional performance with a high school band and a member of the Color Guard. So as a middle schooler, she performed with the high school band. Congratulations. And Julie Coffey. Also performed with the high school band and the Color Guard. Can't forget me, sorry. Madison Latoni. Also performed with the high school band and the Color Guard. The Color Guard, the middle school students work with the high school students and do a phenomenal couple of performances each year. Michael Luchek. Michael auditioned for the Connecticut Music Educators Association Northern Region Middle School Music Festival. And Veronica Orkney. Veronica also performed with the high school band and as a member of the Color Guard. Okay, grade 6. I have 3 students that I'm going to recognize. These students have done a combination of their hobbies outside of school, and some of those skills and talents has transferred inside the school, sometimes in the form of leadership, creativity, organization, and their teachers just really felt with a lot of their time being spent on some extracurricular activities, it did in no way take away from their schoolwork. The first student, however, is Jasmine Dillon. Okay, I'm just going to read about Jasmine. She's a 6th grader who's been elected to Student Council Vice President and has made immediate contributions to helping our school with school spirit and recognizing that students actually do want to stay after school, and has helped our Student Council to improve our after-school selection. So thank you to Jasmine. This next student is a young man, also 6th grade, spends much of his free time composing original music for guitar and other instruments. His attention to detail has transferred into the classroom, resulting in high-quality work. This student has also auditioned for the Connecticut Music Educators Association Northern Region Middle School Festival. He's actually quite amazing. I had the pleasure of viewing one of his pieces when our music teacher went to see him at a performance at the University of Hartford and was quite impressed. Congratulations, Ben Rickovicius. This next young lady is an integral part of her nationally recognized cheerleading team, the USA Wildcats. Her attention to detail, time management, and conscientious attitude has allowed her to continue to succeed highly academically, even with the demands of competitions throughout the year. Congratulations, Kirsten Wimpheimer. Okay, let's see. I have a quote here I want to read to you. It's from Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. We believe that our students in the middle school have really kind of taken a hold of this quote and have lived it. They live it within their school, they live it within the community. So the next round of awards are really going to students who have impacted our school and our community in a variety of ways. There is a list under grade 8 of what some of these committees are. I'm not going to read that to you. I will just give you the name of the student and what they participated in. So for grade 7, I'd like to recognize Jameson Beliveau for leader of the Toys for Tots. Katie DeRay, Toys for Tots committee member and performed at the high school band and a member of the color guard as well. Maddie Gilmartin, Toys for Tots committee member and also performed with the high school band and color guard. Caitlin Morano, Toys for Tots committee member. Grade 8, I'd like to recognize Cullen Beeman for the Salmon Project, Flag Committee, and Veterans Day Guide. Cullen was also recognized last night as the scholar leader for the Connecticut Association of Schools. The other student recognized last night for scholar leader was Samantha Bersari. Samantha is also part of the Green Team and is student council president and has led the initiatives for fundraising and school spirit. Maya Brody for Green Team and the Salmon Project. Isabel Colon for the Green Team. She's making it work. She's gonna make it work. Stephanie Crocker, member of the Green Team and the East Granby Middle School Book Drive. You know, the students want to have a book drive. I'm thinking, okay, sure, fine, we'll have a few boxes. So they asked me where they can put them. I said my conference room. I did not have access to my conference room for months. How many books did you collect? Over 2,000 books that were dispersed to various organizations within East Granby and the Hartford area. Trinity DeJesus for the Green Team. Gordon Hartman, Green Team and Salmon Project. Gordon also performed at the high school band this year as well. Jay King. They just walk slow. Green Team, Top Turkey, East Granby Middle School Book Drive, the Flag Committee, Veterans Day Guide, and the Pen and Marker Recycling Drive. Perfect. Jordan Keto for the Green Team. Also Green Team, Emily Cole.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Leah Langhoff for Green Team and Top Turkey. Heather McKinnon for Green Team. Zara Mather for the Greenhouse Team Leader. Maddie Moore for the Make-A-Wish Ski-a-thon. Green Team member Lauren Morano. Green Team member Saravana Rajaskar. Julia Redfield, Green Team in the Make-A-Wish Ski-A-Thon. Sophia Sanford. Sophia worked on the Salmon Project. And the last student we'd like to recognize is someone who's really done a lot in her community. This student is being recognized for her service to the community, signing and interpreting for individuals at her church, and working at a local food pantry. Isabella Williams. No, Bella? Okay, and Mr. Christopher Collins, member of the Green Team. Did I see Chris come in? I did. Congratulations to all of our middle school recipients.
Thank you, Missy. I would just like to take a moment to recognize another board member who has joined us, Michelle Holt. Thank you for your service. And Mrs. Eulinger is your student here? Okay, we'll move along and give some more time. Mr. Pelling, would you join us to recognize our students from grades 9 through 12?
Thank you, Dr. Mahoney. Good evening, everyone. I like these guys. Great. As Ms. Navarro indicated, or like the middle school, we also have many recognition ceremonies at the high school, and we're well into the recognition season already. I think last week we had the National Honor Society. Tomorrow night we'll be recognizing some 150 students with academic awards. The week after that we have the senior banquet, then we have the athletic awards. So when we had the opportunity to recognize some additional students tonight, I really kind of threw it out to my staff and I said, who haven't we recognized, or what kind of accomplishments haven't we recognized? And they came back with, obviously, Mrs. Shalou with some music awards. All right, so we have some really talented musicians here in the district. We also have some kids who just have sort of really amazing character. So some of them are going to get recognized tonight. And then lastly, we have some students who just kind of set the bar super high academically, and they're also getting recognized. So first tonight we're going to start with our 9th graders. We'd like to recognize Christian Fagnet for playing trumpet in the UMass Honor Band. Next, we'd like to recognize Chloe Goslin. Chloe's an exemplary student, amazing stage talent, and model citizen and friend. Chloe. Next, Jillian Kufi. Jillian. Jillian is diligent, plays tennis, participates in the Violence in Our Lives program, and is a member of the band, choir, and color guard. Caitlin Stragowski. Caitlin has shown exemplary leadership skills, especially for being a freshman student. Caitlin is also our keynote speaker for the East Granby High School Talks. Alex Cannon. Alex played the euphonium?
Yeah.
right? Hold on. In the Connecticut Music Educators Association Northern Regional High School Music Festival Band and the MCMEA All-State Band.
I did. Congratulations.
Sosie French. According to Sosie's French teacher, Sosie has an unending passion to master the most delicate details of the French language. She refuses to accept mediocrity in anything she does, both inside and outside the classroom. Carolyn Tuzinski. Carolyn is a class officer and a leader and motivator of the Connecticut Youth Forum and Violence in Our Lives program. She's a kind, respectful, caring person. Mazwe Seeley. Mazwe played the viola in the Connecticut Music Educators Association Northern Regional High School Music Festival Orchestra. Ilya Dukmanovic. Ilya was nominated by his English teacher, who wrote, "I would like to put Ilya's name forward for his academic engagement and genuine interest in the intellectual climate of the classroom. This is my first year teaching Ilya. I'm impressed with his interest and engagement in world affairs and his stimulating observations in class discussions. He is well informed about international concerns, and he must certainly be earnestly reading entirely on his own as well. Ilya's approach is representative to what we would love all East Granby High School students to do: think critically, think globally, and get informed." Hold on. Tiffany Wilkinson. Tiffany is being recognized for her dedication to softball, her constant willingness to help the school community, and her work over 2 summers as a peer mentor. She's always been very helpful with the younger students. And finally, our 12th graders, Matthew Borsari. Matt has his own section over here. All right. Matt is being recognized for serving as student body president and a student representative of the East Granby Board of Education, as well as his exemplary work in mathematics and outstanding work ethic and character. Dan Cusero. Dan is being recognized for his overall academics, participation in athletics, and for his exemplary work in mathematics and outstanding work ethic and character. Sarah Martin. When we first put the award out there, immediately my email started popping and it was like, Sarah Martin, Sarah Martin, Sarah Martin, Sarah Martin. You know, one teacher after another nominated her. And she was, as I wrote here, she was nominated by 4 teachers. One wrote, "Sarah is intelligent, but that is not what sets her apart from her peers. Sarah's character is unmatched. She's honest, trustworthy, polite, respectful, and compassionate. She takes the time to let you know she cares and is genuinely interested in others and how they are. She goes out of her way to offer her help and never complains when she does. She truly embodies the term well-rounded." She's also going to serve as president of our Best Buddies chapter for the past 3 years, and having volunteered as a peer model tutor's assistant for our Life Skills summer program for the past 7 years. She's also the East Granby High School student representative this year on the board. Connor Rosenberger. Connor was nominated by the faculty for his attitude, sincerity, teamwork, persistence, helpfulness, and work ethic. Lastly, Amanda Samuel. In addition to being nominated by no less than 5 different academic teachers, Amanda has also served as a principal oboe at the Connecticut Youth Symphony at the Hart School Community Division this past year. Congratulations. Turn it back over to Dr. Mahoney.
The last 2 awards are presented to 2 students who served on the Board of Education for the 2015-2016 school year and did so in an exemplary fashion. The Connecticut Association of Boards of Education each year recognizes these student representatives. They give up their time and they do an awesome, phenomenal, fabulous, marvelous, wonderful, pick the adjective, job just representing their schools and the district. We want to this evening recognize 2 of East Granby High School students, Matthew Borsari. Matthew, I won't say too much because I may just steal the thunder for tomorrow night. So I won't go into all of the accolades, but I do want to say that Matthew has been an outstanding representative for East Granby, not just the high school, but for East Granby in total. And so Matthew, I want to congratulate you for your service and have you as well receive your congratulations from the board chair. Thank you so much for your service. Sarah Martin. Where's Sarah? Sarah as well. I joined her teachers in finding all kinds of accolades for her. Her representation of the East Granby Public Schools has been phenomenally outstanding, just absolutely wonderful. She's been a model citizen. Both her and Matthew come to our meetings and give up their time once a month in the evenings. We do allow them to leave after their presentation so they can go home and study and maintain those wonderful grades that they have. But we certainly want to recognize you, Sarah, for taking your time to come to our Board of Education meetings and to keep us informed about what is happening in the district. So on behalf of the Connecticut Association of Boards of Education and the East Granby Public Schools, congratulations. Thank you, Jim. Well, that concludes our ceremony for this evening. Again, I want to thank you for sharing your students with us. You obviously could have chosen other communities, but you chose us, and we're grateful for that. So thank you so much for sharing your children with us, and we look forward to seeing you at the next award ceremony, which will be 24 hours from now. It starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow, so 24 hours and 7 minutes. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great evening.